Morning everybody, and a very warm welcome back to my channel. I'm just giving you a look of what I'm going to make today. Can you make a guess? Well, yes it is. It is chili pickle for today, the very easy way. So good morning everybody and welcome back to my channel. Today I came across these beautiful red chilies, and so many chilies gives me one idea of making a pickle, and that's the easiest way. It doesn't need much time and you need the minimal of ingredients. Whenever we talk about pickles, normally what happens is that we have this idea that it's a very difficult job. Well, it isn't. And once you learn the way I do it, you'll really like to make pickles all your way. So here we have around 15 big chilies that I have. I will be needing around 3 big tablespoons of panch furan, a mixture of 5 spices as I said, and of course here 3 small teaspoons of haldi powder or turmeric powder, 2 small teaspoons of red chili. It's Kashmiri red chili powder, only for the color. We will need 2 bay leaves and a small bowl of mustard oil. The pickle here in this part of India, we cook it in mustard oil because of its unique flavor. And also, of course, we're needing some mustard seeds also, and the salt and some vinegar. So first things what we are going to do is that we have to cut these small chilies into small pieces. Normally in all the YouTube channels, or all my grannies or whoever I have talked to, they have told me be very careful with the way you chop it with the hands, because you might put your hands into your eyes, right? So I just discovered a very easy way of cutting or chopping down my big chilies into small little ones, ready and perfect in size for the pickle. So this is how we'll do it. First we remove the tip and then cut it like this into small pieces. Don't make it very small. I guess this size is perfect, because that way otherwise it will be completely melted off. So we'll just cut it into these sizes, the entire lot, and get about doing the pickle. One good fact about the chilies is that you can always clean the chilies with water and just try and wipe it with the paper or with clothes, and then remove these stems and then cut it this particular size here. So they are clean, they just need to dry up a little in the sun, and they'll be mature enough to go into making of the pickle. So this is how I have chopped down the entire lot into small little pieces. But if they're very small, we have to be very careful, otherwise they'll just break in between. So if you want to serve it to somebody also, you can, this particular size is good enough. And because I'm using the scissors, my hands are also very safe. So this way I got the whole lot cut down into small pieces of mine, in a size that I like. So I'll put it into a bowl, and the next step is that I need to add some haldi powder or turmeric powder, and then I need to go about drying it in the sun along with after putting in some salt also. So I'm adding the turmeric powder that we had taken out. Okay. Once you start doing it, once you start trying to make pickles, you'll come to have an idea of how much you really need. And the salt, normally I spread it around like this. If it covers the entire thing, that means that's enough. And then I mix it up nicely. It's a lovely activity, red merging with yellow, and we have this beautiful blend of colors there. I'm going to lay it out in the sun to dry. Just take a big plate and then let it in the sun to dry just for an hour or so. They do not need to burn up in the sun. They just need to get the moisture out, and then they'll be ready to be going into the entire process of pickle making. I'm lucky to have a nice sunny morning today when I decided to make the pickles. So I let the pickle, the chili dry out in the sun for some time, say for an hour, and then I'll get back into the whole process. When the chilies are drying up, we can get about and try to make the paste, or in fact the dry ingredients, what we need for the pickle. For that I go about frying, dry roasting the 5 spices that I had talked about, and of course the mustard seeds there, all dry roasted so that they are crisp and nice and they can blend well in the mixie. We'll also put in the bay leaf there. So the bay leaf is also there. So we'll dry roast to a time when they are just roasted and they're not burnt. So I have the flame on high and I'm dry roasting it till there's a nice flavor, nice aroma of the spices filling my entire kitchen. You can nicely see the sputtering of the mustard seeds there, and it's an indication of the fact that they are ready. And we always have the bay leaf flying away. So now we'll just shut down the flame and wait for some time for it to cool down. So I've taken out the spices there. See, we see fume coming up there. Now these will be blended in the mixie. Blended in a manner that they're coarse, not completely very, very fine. And in the same karai, we are also going to heat up the amount of oil that will be necessary to make the pickle. We're going to heat up the mustard oil in such a manner that all the raw flavor of the mustard oil is gone. We have it fuming, and then it will be cooled down, and then after that particular cooling process only, we can put it in the pickle. Now when you see it fuming like this, you know that your mustard oil is ready. You need to shut down the gas and let it cool completely before it can be used. In the meantime, we'll just check out whether the dry spices or the 5 spices and the bay leaf and the mustard are cool enough to go into the grinder. So these chilies have dried out in the sun-dried chilies. Though they are not completely dry, we just took the moisture off, and then I just took, I think, 1 hour in the sun there, basking out in the sun. The red chilies with that dash of yellow, and now we put back into the same can or same bowl in which I had mixed them, and we had given 1 whisk in the mixie of the dry spices that were roasted. Once they were cool, this is what I'm going to add into my pickle or the chilies there, and then we give it a nice mix. It's so easy as this. I'll now put in some vinegar. So how much vinegar you need, the way I measure it is that I just turn it around like this one, and that's it, the vinegar there. Now this will act as a preservative and keep your pickle perfect in all conditions. Now I'll also put in the red spice there, the red chili or the Kashmiri mirch, just for the dash of color. And once that is done, we have one thing remaining. What is it? That's the mustard oil which I had heated up, and now it's completely cool. You need to remember the mustard oil has to be cooked up, has to be, the way it has to fume up and then cool down, and then we use it in the pickle. The entire mustard oil goes in there. So you can see the beautiful blend of colors there, and you feel like, wow, that's it. That's the way it's going. Now if you have the guts like the way I have, just check for the salt. A little more salt needed. Now the way I have tasted it, if you really want to do it, you can. Otherwise also, the amount of salt depends upon how much you really want it in your pickle. Not too much, not too less. Perfect. This is that much that should go in now. That should be fine with it now. We have the tanginess of the vinegar, the spices mixed together, the salt and the red chilies, giving out the beautiful color. Now we put it into a can and let it sun dry for as long as you want. The more you sun dry it, the better it will taste. So we'll put it slowly into that small little jar. Be careful to wash the jar thoroughly with hot water and dry it out in the sun so that it doesn't have anything that will make my pickle sour or make my pickle go bad, spoil. So here we have, see, exactly as much as I needed. If you want to put more oil, mustard oil, you can always put more mustard oil, but I think this is fine. And then your pickle is done. So now this is the pickle that's come out. You can almost smell it. The nice flavor of the spices mixed together. This will go out in the sun to dry itself and mature and merge all the spices to give you that perfect pickle, chili pickle, homemade. Something that you can try out anytime you like and something that will not cause any harm to your stomach. So this is my pickle for you. If you like this recipe, do give a thumbs up and subscribe to my channel if you haven't. Thank you so much.